Hello guys, hope you are doing well. Talking about the London recap here. We are still contained within a big range, right? Weak levels everywhere, so it's important to understand how can we position ourselves in the best areas and avoid all these small moves here and there, because it can be very easy for you to be trigger happy and be in the trade, trying to be in trades in the end of the day. When we come back in the end of the session, it's a break even or a loss because price decided to reverse. So on the daily, nothing has changed, to be honest, still contained within this swing high, right, swing low. Again, I will just repeat myself here, but I'm not trying to pick here the right demand, because I'm not trying to pick the bottom and catch this reversal. I'm letting market structure tell me when price will do that. So it's for me it's much better and save me from taking a lot of losses. Otherwise I can be here on M1 and lower time frames trying to pick bottoms, and it's not sustainable for me. So yeah, daily nothing changed. 4 hour. Okay, this is very interesting because on the 4 hour time frame we are contained within this swing high, right, and the swing low, and we actually had the change of character. But like I said yesterday, is the change of character the first indication that the complex pullback from this 4 hour bearish leg, right, will start? Or is this change of character used just to sweep this external range liquidity, mitigate something, and then continue to the downside? Because both options are valid, and we need to understand how to work with multi-time frame analysis by using M15 in this situation, and understand that both situations can happen, right? And until M15 bullish bearish order flow still holding, I can't assume that this high is going to get run. But I'll talk more about that on M15 time frame. But on the 4 hour, yeah, nothing has changed since yesterday. Still expecting a possible higher low from here, but also being aware that we don't need, and the price can be respecting these lower highs and lower lows on the M15, and we continue to the downside, because this change of character can also be seen as sweep of external range liquidity and mitigate something here on the left. So I'm open for both situations, and yeah, going to the M15. There's nothing more to say here on 4 hour, to be honest. I already talked about this on the previous market breakdown, right? On the photon analysis channel, I also post my screenshots of my analysis, and there's nothing new. So yeah, I don't think you will get value from me talking more about this 4 hour price action. For me, it's very simple. I'm open to take the buys because it makes sense. After the change of character, I'm expecting a pullback, but I also looking for sells because M15 and this internal bearish order flow still holding. So I will not assume it will change until it does. So I will still be looking for sells. So yeah, M15. Okay, M15 is quite interesting today because, okay, let's analyze this in detail. Okay, you can see here, right, after the break of structure, we start to have this M15 choke right here. So we start putting the complex pullback of this bullish leg. Okay, but if you analyze this internal structure, what you have had this lower high, right, lower low, because it failed to it closed right below here. So here is the lower low. Then we have lower high and lower low. So we are contained within this internal structure on M15, this low, right, and this high. Until this high gets broken with price going to the upside, right? Only after this internal strong M15 high gets broken that we can assume that the swing high will get targeted, because while we are contained within this internal structure on M15, there is no confirmation yet that this high is going to get run. So we can still follow this internal structure, right, until it changes, because it can just keep going to the downside. Okay, so my idea behind today's session was after price when I wake up was around it was around this time. I understood that price, you can see here, you have this bearish leg, right? And price was putting this internal bullish range, and after this change of character here and demand fail, we can assume that this pullback, right, was used to mitigate something around the premium of this internal bearish leg, and after the change of character, I have the indication that this high is weak, this low is weak and is targeted. So I'm looking for sales to target this low, because like I said a few minutes ago, I don't assume structure and order flow will change until it does. What I mean by that is order flow, we have something like this in order flow, right? This internal structure is my order flow. So after price reach the premium, I will still continue looking to premium of this leg, right, of the internal leg. I will still be looking for sales because I don't assume this will change. Okay, so especially after the change of character, I have the indication the low is weak, so I'm more than happy to still looking for sales and playing the possibility of taking this weak low. I personally not interested in taking any loans from this weak leg, right? Because I know the low is weak. I'm not interested in taking M1 chalks, flips, whatever here. If you want to take any buy, a minimum for me would be waiting for the M15 chalk, but even that is like his personal preference. I personally will not be very interested in taking loans at this stage, but if you are, at least wait for M15 chalk, because understand this is weak. So yeah, it's just a very low probability trade. Okay, so I was looking to take a sell from here, never present itself, and then I was looking to take a sell from here again and never present itself. And for me, this is the very extreme of this internal bearish leg. So if we will remain with a bearish order flow, this is where I want to get involved in a sell, and price also never reach here. So for me, there was no clean high probability trades, because on M15 price never never reached my area, and on the low time frames we didn't have confirmation in these two POIs. Again, if we are moving, for example, and it's a little bit more of a forecast, but if price moves here, I will be looking for buys, but understanding two things. Yes, this buy can actually lead to the break of structure, because this is the very extreme. Yes, we already have these very weaks, but I'm trading from a protected, right? This is a protected M15 low, because this low, right, caused the break of structure on M15. We have a boss, okay? So this is a protected M15 low. So even though internal order flow is bearish, right, I will still be looking to take trades from here, because it's pro trend and is from a protected internal M15 low, okay? However, I need to manage my expectations, because again, until we internal boss bullish, this move here can be just a pullback again to continue the downside, the bearish order flow, right? Only when we have this internal break of structure, I can then assume the high is going to get run. So even though it's valid to take buys from here, make sure to first manage accordingly, because price can actually be just making a pullback to mitigate something at the extreme and continue down, and also be open to maybe edge. So maybe take, if a sell it's according to your trading plan, maybe take the sell as well and see which one will hold, because we never know what will happen. So it's more important to react, right, and don't try to predict too much. And yeah, that's very interesting price action in this London session. On M15, I personally don't have anything more to add. I think I make everything very clear. I hope so. And yeah, I saw some people trying to buy from here, and like for me is not something I'm interested, because it's the same of trying to buy from here, price gets smashed, is the same time of trying to buy from here, you get smashed, the same here, you get smashed. So even though price went to the upside, right, what happened after? Straight back down. So this is not a trade that you probably if you are a little bit more, trying to take more high probability trades, for me this is not something I would be interested. But again, it's personal choice, and if it's according to our trading plan, no, by no means stop doing that. Okay, just trying to explain my point of view and the way I trade, so you guys can adjust, tweak yours, and say yes, see if you can take something away from this. And yeah, M15, nothing more to add. On the M1, right? Just one more thing here on M15. When price end up breaking here down, right? I pick. Let me use this. I pick this demand, right, to justify this being a flip. Okay, so I'm trading. I'm looking for M1s inside this POI because this is a flip, right? And is not only a flip, is a flip that swept liquidity. Okay, because you can see here that price swept this liquidity. I didn't use this demand, but just to make clear, but just to be clean, sorry, but yeah, it's a flip. So going back to the M1 price action here, let me just adjust. Okay, so M1, okay, we can understand that here on M1 we start putting here this bullish order flow, price chalk here and even more clear here, but that just indicate to myself that price is pulling back. Okay, so I'm not interested in taking longs at this stage because everything on M15 was indicating the low is getting run or is weak. So after price went to the upside, this is the POI I want to look for sales, right? I don't want to buy straight into supply, right? Because majority of the times, 9 out of 10, it will end up as losses. No clean M1 confirmation here. I personally would never set a limit because I have unmitigated extreme. Okay, so it's better to wait for M1 confirmation, and we don't have any type of M1 confirmation here. This, I think it was it's a lot of volatility. I don't know if it was news or not, but for me it can be valid if you took a limit here, because even though conditions are not great and you still have this POI above, but it depends how aggressive you want to be, because extremes are always more extremes. You can always or it hold or it will hold or it won't. Okay, so it makes sense if you take a sell limit here, but the reason I was not very convincing is because of the item frame analysis. So we are maintained within a massive range, and we are around in the middle, right? And the fact that we still have this unmitigated POI above, and I was not sure which one will hold. And when I saw this momentum, it was very quick. I just realized that, yeah, it's going to get smashed. But I think it's not the end of the world if you take a loss here, okay? And on this POI, you don't have any type of M1 price action, okay, to get involved. I was then looking for for the top POI here still inside this M15 internal leg, but price never reached. So yeah, stay away from that. And price went to the downside. So there's nothing more to add in my opinion, because you can see that this was the London session, super range one price action. There's nothing more to add. To be honest, if you don't trade during this today or yesterday, you didn't miss anything. And I personally would advise you, if you are new, to just just study price action, but don't get involved in this, because it's very difficult. It's very difficult to trade, and you can take 2, 3, 4 losses in a row and start questioning your own life, your own trading, right? So just stay away from that. And yeah, I will post a forecast, right, of New York. But something that I would be interesting is I will be looking how price develops here to look for a buy, right, or even in this unmitigated extreme. But like I said, I'm still aware what will happen here. So until internal boss bullish, I'm still looking for sales as well. And yeah, at this moment we are taking highs, taking lows, very range bound. But I will not be surprised if price taps, for example, something inside this supply and continue to the downside and do something like this. But yeah, this is the London session. Not too much to add, to be honest. Price range bound entire session. So yeah, focus on hyperliquidity stuff and stick to extremes, guys. So yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to send me a message.